Hi, my name's John and welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. I think tonight's nightcaps are going to be a little bit more on that Locomobile steam engine I bought. I've started to sort of put it back together now. It's coming along very nicely. I was talking to one or two of the lads at the steam rally at Chesterley Street, and somebody suggests, why don't I put it on an old-fashioned butcher's tricycle, the one with a big basket on the front, which I'm sort of looking for a butcher's tricycle now. I'll probably run it off a compressed air bottle at first, and then we'll sort of a boiler out for it and run it on steam. Quite an interesting project. I mean, it's got to be done. It's got to move something. I can't just keep it on the bench. I've had some more double boost and some more piss-wobbly-caps done. I'll put the link to the eBay number in the description box. At the end of most of my videos, I put a picture up with a date on. It's either a picture of me or often a picture of the wife Deb doing a bit of welding or machine or whatever she's doing. I sometimes put pictures of me past father up, anything I really fancy. I thought it would be a good idea if my viewers sort of sent us in some pictures that they would like to put on the end of a video with your name or without your name, but the location would be good because I'm kind of getting worldwide coverage now. That's my email up there. If you want a picture putting on, send some in. I'll get Deb to choose which one she wants, and at the end of the year I think we'll probably choose the best picture and I'll make some sort of special prize up and get it posted off to you. Now that we've successfully got the engine running, I'm going to have a look to see if these bearings are adjustable, because there's a load of play in the crankshaft. Lots of play. That's probably the worst part. The motion is all worn, but that's easy to fix. The cylinder bores are great, the port faces are great, but there's a lot of play in here, so I'm going to have a exploratory look inside, see what we can find out. I've got no idea how it kind of works, but we'll have a look and see what we can do. Right, the first thing we'll look at is this big end. There's a little lock screw in there. I'm assuming that is screwed in to adjust the bearing. It's a bit like a wheel bearing on a car. I've got a really good fitting screwdriver. It wasn't tight anyway. The screw heads aren't badly gnarled up on this, so that's always a good sign. You see they've been worked on with the correct gear, or it hasn't had anything done to it. Right, so that's slack. I'm expecting to see I don't know, some ball bearings I would imagine. Right, and there they are, nice and oily. Oh, you bastard. Certainly nothing the matter with them. Right, so that will come off there if I was to take off that. There's a big screw in there that probably holds that crank on. I'm going to have to make a tool to fit in there because that'll be tight. I'll take this crosshead bolt out just so that the conrod is out the way. I'm expecting to see kind of Whitworth stuff here, but I've got some EF spanners. Looks like 11/16 CF or 5/8 CF. Right, that's an 11/16. I've had that a long time. That's a snap-on spanner. 11/16. I bought that when I first started the motor trade. There's my initials. Doesn't fit though. Right, that's a 16mm spanner, so I don't know what that wasn't tight either. Right, so it's got double nuts on there, check nuts. Right, that's screwed in, so that was tight. So that screws in, and then the double nut lock it. There's also a hole for a split pin. So I just want to have a I like an exploratory look inside of here before we totally strip it. Right, so that comes off. I'm being very careful that I'm not missing any shims or washers or anything. So now we'll be able to push the piston back, I would think. And then possibly, yep, that comes out like that. All straightforward stuff. Really well made. Little bit of play on there, but nothing to worry about. Right, this is the next thing, and I would imagine that will be extremely tight. So we need to find something or make something that's a really good fit in there. This is a piece of gauge plate, real good quality steel. That's actually a tool I made for tightening valve seats into central steam regulators. I hope I'm not going to use that bastard again. I'm going to machine a bit of it down so it's a really good fit in there, and then hopefully we can use that to try and remove it. Right, I've machined it down to be a good fit in there. I've put the spanner on the crank to lock it. I'll have an exploratory loosen. Oh, it's not tight. At least it's not ridiculously tight like I expected it to be. Right, so this is going to be interesting to see what lives inside of here and how it's held together. Right. It's keyed. There's definitely a key on there, so that's keyed. That's keyed into there. We'll give it an exploratory tap with a hammer, I think. Look at that. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Right, so in there we've got, well, I had some ball bearings, the bastards have all fell out. But how do you adjust it? Or is it just a case of it can't just be a case of tightening that to pull it onto the keyway further? I wouldn't have thought. Circle clip in there holding all the balls in place, or holding the track in. I mean, that track is marked, but I mean it'll run. In fact, it's not that bad actually. If we're gonna, in fact, it's good. What I thought on marks was just bits of shade stuck on it. I mean, it's marked, but that's going to run no problem at all. Now, I did expect to find that nut tighter than that, or that bolt tighter than that. But what I'm seeing in here, I'm looking bastard, liking the look of. I think I'll tip it on its side to put it back together. And that's obviously a bearing cap. This comes off. I don't know if that's like a spacer in there, and you machine the spacer to get it tighter. I don't know. And it's not a loose spacer anyway. I'm going to put it outside, put it back together, tighten it up, and see if that takes the play off it. As I'm looking inside here, there's two little pop marks on the crank, and there's two little pop marks on there which line up. So somebody's obviously had it apart and they've marked it 2 and 2. Like I said, it'll probably be 1 and 1. I think I'm going to take them balls out of there, take that circlip out and wash out in there, because it's all sort of dry and horrible. I don't know if you should put grease in these or what should be in them, I don't know. There's no actual oil holes in them. There's a hole there. It doesn't go anywhere. That's taking a little circlip out just to make a little retaining ring, get all these out. See the bearing is, I mean it's not like new, but it's not knackered. There's a hole there, and there's a hole there. I'm wondering if that's an oil hole. It hasn't been lined up. No. Right, there's oil coming from that. Now there's oil actually getting, must be a ring in behind there, and the oil is coming, or the air is coming out of them holes, so it does. There must be a groove in there. I don't know to take that off or not. I don't think it'll do any harm to take it off and just have a look inside of there.